It's day 13, and yes, I'm wearing my sunglasses inside because they are prescription, and I don't want to have to dig my other ones out of my bag. So, sunglasses it is. I'm in Bayona right now. I'm just having breakfast, and then I'm headed to someplace that's not very far away, and I keep trying to like change the bookings that I've already made to make it so that my walk today is a little bit longer. But the place I have tomorrow is got like a cancellation fee, which is more than the actual like cost of the place. So I haven't decided if I'm willing to pay it or not yet. I was gonna get to where I'm going and see how I feel. Maybe I'm supposed to stop there for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm trying to get to Ramallosa. I'm so American. I have no idea how to say it. So yeah, that's my day today. Last night the hostel was completely full. There was a lot of people, and it was the first time that I ever really encountered issues like getting to the bathroom, and there was just so many people. But that's okay. I have noticed that the croissants in Portugal were really more like a brioche that was shaped like a croissant, whereas in the croissants here in Spain have all been like the flaky French type croissant that I would expect. So that was just something that I thought was interesting, is the differences of the croissants, although all the cafes still have them. That seems to be a very common breakfast. So anyway, that's my update for today. My hotel, it's not a hotel. The Albergue tonight is really only like 6 kilometers from here, so it's just not very far. I should be able to get there within like an hour. So that's okay. Today is the first day that like I've started to kind of feel that my back muscles are a little bit sore. Not real bad. Considering I've been wearing this pack for 13 days now, and it is not light. I have a fairly heavy pack. I way overpacked because I just didn't know what to expect, and I like being prepared, and I don't know. But I did way overpack, and so my pack is not light. But today is the first time I've noticed my back muscles are sore. Like I can tell that I've done something with them, but I feel like that's a pretty good sign that 13 days in is the first time it's been a problem. It's not a problem. It's just that I can tell that it's like I've worked my back out. But a lot of people have complained about those muscles, day 2. So I feel like I'm doing good. I did figure out that the knot in my foot was due to like my shoelaces are too tight. I have like the no tie shoelaces on my shoes, and I've put in like the runner's lock on the laces, and so that they wouldn't really move around. But what that really does is just causes them to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And so the laces right at the top of the very top of my shoe were just a little bit too tight, and were putting pressure on the top of my foot, and it was causing this like knot in my foot. And so now that I have let up those laces, my feet are just fine, which is really good, because I was really worried about my foot. Anyway, that's my update for today. I'm just gonna take it easy since I don't have very far to go today, unless I can get my booking for tonight and tomorrow changed. It's really the one tomorrow that has the cancellation fee, but I'll see what I can do. But that's it for me today. I will check in later. I made it to the Albergue tonight. It really was like right up the road. There was a point on the boardwalk where I could almost see the place I stayed last night and the place I'm staying tonight. It's just really close, so I barely went anywhere. I'm only at 7,000 steps. It's not even like my normal daily 10,000 steps. Just didn't go very far. I didn't look at the guidebook very well when I booked this, and I didn't want to cancel the place tomorrow because the cancellation fee was more than the actual booking. So there's a reason I'm here. There's a reason that these are the locations that I'm at, or maybe it's just that I'm supposed to get somewhere at a specific time. I don't know, but I'm here, so whatever. I did spend the morning at breakfast booking out the rest of my Camino and my train back to Porto and a hostel for at least one night in Porto. So I will, unless something changes, which it could, I will be getting to the cathedral in Compostela, the Cathedral Compostela, Santiago de Compostela, on June 16th. And I did splurge, and I got a very nice hotel room that night. And the reason I got the particular hotel I got was because it was the cheapest place that had that listed that it had a bathtub. There might be places that have bathtubs that just didn't specifically call it out, but this one specifically called it out. But it is absolutely the most expensive place I've stayed the whole time I've been here in Europe, including my hotel in Lisbon, which, especially now that I've been staying in these hostels, was quite pricey. But I feel like after having done the Camino, that is a well-deserved reward to stay in a nice hotel, mostly for the bathtub. Only for the bathtub. And you know, today has been a much better day. My mood is much better. I'm actually kind of disappointed that my walk wasn't longer, that I was like ready to go. So hopefully by tomorrow, like I'll be in a better mood and have a newfound motivation to keep going. And I keep thinking back to how my Camino has literally been cut in half, that if I had to do this, like double this amount, you know, what I feel like. And I don't know what I would feel like. I do really want to come back and do the French way sometime. I don't know when, but sometime, which is like 800 kilometers. But I think it's almost like 300 kilometers. So it is double. Double the little over double the length of the Camino I've done this time. So, and when I have been planning the French way in the past, I had decided I needed 6 weeks to do it, so that it was basically like 10 miles a day. That was something that I could do, and have proven that is a very achievable length to each day. That I've done that and then some almost every day, except these kind of shorter days where I just didn't plan very well. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm like so close to where I was, but oh well, that's okay. So yeah, June 16th is when I'm gonna get to the cathedral. I was initially gonna go on the spiritual route. The guy that was in the bunk next to me on the very first albergue that I stayed at, that was his suggestion, was to take the spiritual route and then take the boat from Villa Nova de Rosa, I think is how you pronounce it, to Padrón. But when I started booking the hotels today, it's incredibly rural, and it goes through these mountains, and so there was really very little between stages. I mean, there was very little like infrastructure because you're just hiking mountains. And the elevation climbs were significantly more than what I've been doing. That wasn't as much of a deterrent as finding the accommodations. I don't know, for anybody that may be familiar with Abraham Hicks and some of the principles that she teaches. She talks about swimming upstream versus swimming downstream, and like if you're swimming upstream, you're like going against the current and constantly fighting against the current. Whereas if you swim downstream, you're swimming with the current. It's a lot easier. It takes a lot less time or like pressure, and that's a principle that I utilize in my life. That if I am going a direction and I'm constantly hitting roadblocks and I'm constantly like struggling going that way, that's probably not the right route for me. And that's kind of where I was when I was in Lisbon, is that every time I would try to like do something or get somewhere or book a room or deal with my luggage, I was constantly hitting these block after block. But it was like free sailing to get to Porto, and so that's kind of the principle that I try to live off of, is that if I'm constantly hitting roadblocks, that's probably not the right direction, and to try something else. And so I was constantly hitting blocks every time I would try to book someplace along the spiritual route, and I had no blocks when I would book it along the main central route. So that's what I've done, and that's where I'm going. And then, once I get back to Porto on June 17th, I have no idea what to do with myself until and then I still need to get to Germany by June 30th. So I have to somehow cross Europe, in those 2 weeks, which again is, a problem most people don't have. Most people don't complain about having too much time in Europe, but there is also a budget issue that, these albergues and stuff have been very cost effective. And so I have to make sure that, those 2 weeks don't eat up everything I have left, because I still need to be able to get home. I haven't booked my flight from India to Indonesia yet. And so, I do really need to be very conscientious of the money that I still have, and making sure I'm not stuck in Indonesia. Anyway, but so that's where I've been today, and what I've been doing is just booking out all of my places that I'm staying and getting all that taken care of. It is really kind of nice, and maybe that's part of where my newfound motivation is coming from, is like I now have goals that I can achieve, and I'm not just like aimlessly wandering and hoping to come across a place to stay, and that there's specific destinations that I have to get to each night. So anyway, that's my day. I'm gonna just shower and wash my clothes and chill for the rest of the day. It's only like 1 PM, so I have most of the night. I have been getting into this like cheese spread. I found it in Portugal. The very first restaurant I stayed in Lisbon, they served it along with my dinner, and I thought I thought it was good. It was easy. And then I was able to find it at some of the grocery stores there in Portugal. And so I've kind of started doing this like bread and cheese spread thing for lunch lately. I can basically have it for no utensils, just by dipping the baguette in the cheese spread. I haven't found the exact same cheese spread here in Spain, but there's like a President's cheese that's very, very similar, and so I've just been doing that. So that's kind of what I've been having for lunch, is these bread and cheese spread. It's probably not the healthiest thing, but it's easy. So anyway, that's all for me. I will check in later. It's the end of the day, and I thought I would just give an update. today I got to the Albergue and I realized that I had left my phone adapter, or like my wall plug adapter, at the last place. And so I just started to walk back toward town to find a store that I could buy a new one. I never did find a store, but I got back to the other hostel, and so I just picked it up. Which just shows how close I really was. And then on my way back, I stopped and got some gelato along the boardwalk and hung out along the beach there, along the bay here. To kind of go along with my comments the other day, where other people just don't seem to like have the insecurities about their bodies that I do. There was a older woman, probably 60s maybe. I have no idea. I really have no idea. But she was just at the beach. She was the only one that was walking in the water, and the water was only probably maybe. Sorry, my battery died. So anyway, I was walking. Oh look, I've got a sunburn. I was walking along the beach, and there was this woman walking in the water, completely topless, just wandering around the water, and didn't care. Just out there, and nobody else seemed to care either. I mean, and good for them, they shouldn't, but it was just like such a difference from the world that I came from and grew up in, and just very different. Not the first naked woman I've seen on this journey. And she wasn't completely naked. She did have her bikini bottoms on, but still, just a pretty different experience. Nonetheless, to just be sitting on the boardwalk, eating my gelato, and 60-year-old naked woman. Anyway, so that was kind of the big thing for me today. So yeah, I ended up walking back to my hostel, the hostel I stayed at last night, and then back again to the place I'm staying tonight. And so with both of those walks, I did end up getting about 17,000 steps, but I am not very far from the place I was last night. I did not read the guidebook well. I thought I was like following the guidebook actually, but no, I didn't. I mean, I did, but I just didn't look at it closely. So anyway, tomorrow, I don't remember where I'm going to be, but I already have it booked out. I have all my stays booked out. And I've been trying to figure out what to do after the Camino, and so I've been kind of getting online and just looking at like guided tours. Not that I intend to do that, but I was going to steal their itineraries and sort of follow the places that I would have gone had I gone on a guided tour. So I think I might do that. I'm like go on a little trek around Germany and go to Berlin and other places that I can't remember at the moment. And just kind of spend some time in Germany. I don't know what else to do, and so that seemed like a good idea. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I was just going to steal an itinerary from one of these guided tours and follow it as if I was on it. The other thing I was looking at is that there are tons of music festivals all across Europe, and a lot of them are in Germany. That I thought maybe I could sort of go on a music festival tour and stop at these places and hear some good music and listen to groups that I've never heard of before, and just kind of experience a whole new musical world. But anyway, that's my my update for today. My stats are at 17,000 steps. This place I'm staying at tonight was 17 euros. And the washing machine was one of the more expensive washing machines. Usually it's only about 2 euros, but this one was 5. I did it anyway, just out of laziness. And then I went to the grocery store a couple times today and got, you know, a baguette and some cheese spread and orange and some drinks. And I'm almost out of shampoo, so I did pick up some shampoo and like Q-tips and stuff, so just some other necessities. But I think in total it still came out to be under 10 euros. But again, I have no idea. I just hand them money and they give me a bunch of coins back, so I don't really know. And I went there like 3 times, so I didn't add it all up yet. So yeah, that's my day today. Still right about 30 euros. Still hitting my budget. I think the place that I'm staying at in Vigo, I don't think I was able to get a hostel. I think they were all full, and so I think I had to get like a slightly different place. It's more of like a rented apartment that was a little bit more expensive. I think it came to like 50 euros instead of, you know, the 10 to 20 euros that I've been spending, which, you know, it is what it is. And then there is one night on June 11th that I did get a private room as well, because I signed up to do this like virtual sing-along with Voces 8 and Eric Whitaker. And so I didn't want to have to be in a hostel and participate in this sing-along. And so I did get my own room that night, and it was a little bit more expensive. But I think it was like 30 euros. So anyway, that's all for me today. I will check back in tomorrow. Bien, Camino.